And you know this, we are here. We always here every other week. It's what we do. We might not be on time, but we like Jesus. We show up though. You know, you know it. You know it.
Start.
You know it.
Start.
Two brains, one goal. This is how we get down. You know what I'm saying? We making it extra special for y'all today. Y'all know who I am. I like to tell y'all who I am. I'm Freddie Fly Clips himself.
Yeah, I'm gonna do
Mr.
with the
Freddie the
beard.
Flesh, and
I'm gonna do with the
you know
beard.
who
You
he
already
is.
know.
You know what I'm saying? The dude with the beard.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the dude with the beard and the skin. Let's put that
Yeah,
in
yeah,
there.
yeah,
The dude
yeah,
with
yeah,
the
yeah.
beard and the skin.
Looking
You
for
know what I'm saying?
sponsorships and all that.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Lubriderm,
Yeah.
all that. You know what I'm
CeraVe.
saying? Vaseline, all that. We
Mhm.
need, you know what I'm saying? Cocoa butter. I need
Cocoa
some
butter,
shea
shea
up in
butter.
here. You know what
Right,
I'm saying? I
right.
need some shea.
All organic products, by the way. All organic products. You know what I'm
And
saying?
and with us being here and trying to make sure that we bring y'all something nice and improved and us having some growth, we have a in studio guest today.
Yeah, make sure you clap it up, snaps and all
All that. We got an in studio guest today.
And let me. She has a wonderful name. I don't want to destroy it, so I'm gonna let her pronounce her name for you.
Yes.
May you please pronounce your name?
Yes, please introduce yourself to the people.
Hey everybody, I'm Goddess Aya. I'm a tantric priestess, sacred sexuality coach, and I run a lifestyle party house in South Phoenix.
Yeah. Give that. Woo, 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 woo.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, now you put a lot of stuff out there right there.
Yes,
That was a nice little list of stuff.
nice little list of things.
Let's go down some of the. Let's go down the list. Let's start off. You said you are first. You said you are
Goddess.
a goddess.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, for all the people that don't that don't maybe want to buy into what she's saying, like, can you please explain like why you are a goddess of your field, and you know what I'm saying, the things that you specialize in, so we can get into some adult conversation around here.
Adult conversation. Good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely into art and mature audiences, but
Okay. Absolutely.
I don't know. I feel like I've always felt like I was a goddess, like an extremely like open sexual woman. I
Okay.
think that's goddess kind of to me involves being in your divine feminine. Like
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
just
Make sure you
Right. Turn your ears on. You heard
make
that.
sure
You heard
catch,
that.
Make sure you catch that.
Yes.
Make
And
sure
please
you
elaborate on that
Yes,
too. Please.
yes,
Please.
yes.
Because we got some listeners that need
Ladies.
this. Yes, please.
yes, indeed. I've just over the years learned to embrace being a woman. Like in our culture and our society, we're definitely more goal oriented, task focused. We
Right.
lean more on our masculine traits as
Right,
people
right.
in this country culture.
Mhm.
And it just never felt right to me. Like we disconnected from our emotions. We've stopped listening to our intuition. These are things that are innate traits to femininity that we as a society have just stopped giving importance to. So I learned, I don't know, probably pretty young that being a sensual, soft, um, emotional being was a part of myself, and
Right.
I allow myself to accept that rather than like force myself into this like
Okay.
rah I'm gonna push through and do. Um, I'm gonna soften and be instead. So,
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
so
Well, that I
yeah,
mean, and that sounds like a lot of stuff we don't hear these days. So that's
yeah.
I mean, so that's real refreshing to hear that at least somebody knows that it's okay for that, because that gets the feminine and the softness get you a lot of places.
Yeah.
Gets you a lot of places for real. That's huge. That's huge. Okay, now we go from the goddess
Yeah,
to the
tantric priestess.
okay. All right. That sounds like some
Yeah, explain that, please. Explain.
That's how he be, he be swirling on the bowl or
I
something.
do.
You
Yeah,
doing
I
for it?
do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know a little something. I know a little bit.
Golden child. I'm
Right.
Yeah.
Please. Yeah. So now, can you explain that, please?
Yeah. So tantra is it's a really a form of working with sexual energy.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So we all have that. Obviously, it's the energy we are created with. So it's
Right.
our creation energy. It's
Right.
what fuels us into being, into living, into growing and moving as
Right.
humans. So tantra is a study of that energy. It's learning how to channel that energy for your creative work, for procreation. So you
Okay.
often hear most of us learn what tantra was through sex positions, right? But
Yes,
you know,
yes,
like
yes.
you've seen
From the
those
Kama
crazy,
Sutra and all that
yeah,
stuff.
from Kama Sutra,
Mhm.
from but really it's all of the thing. It's positioning, it's breath work, it's
Shout out to my people's P. You know who you are.
yeah.
You know who you are. Shout out to my homie. Yeah.
So with
Yeah.
the breath work.
Yep.
Breath
Okay,
work, yeah,
okay.
being in
Yep.
tune with your own energy and your partner's energy, and
Right.
then learning how to align those towards your ultimate pleasure in life.
So
okay.
I have a question.
All right.
Yeah.
So as far as the energy, this is something that you born with. Is this something you could work on?
Yeah.
Like how does that work?
Right. So we're all born with sexual energy.
Mhm.
And honestly, we're as in our culture taught to suppress it. So we're not actually taught how to work with or use it for means outside of sex and
Copy.
recreation.
Copy.
But you can. I started working with my sexual energy intentionally in 2020, and I also did it alongside of plant medicine
Wait a
with
minute. Wait.
mushrooms.
Right.
20. Wait.
What do you mean by-
2020 was COVID.
Yeah, it was
Right.
COVID.
Oh, so
Right. So what?
Yeah.
that's what I was
yeah.
gonna say.
What
So
triggered that?
so
Because
what
I know
triggered
COVID.
that?
A lot
Right,
of
okay,
people
so
was in the
intent-
house.
Yeah, well, we were in the house doing something.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
Right,
Gotcha.
okay,
I was in the
gotcha,
house
gotcha.
training my sexual energy. Okay, so this
Okay.
is a lot of backstory.
That's what I
Go
want.
there.
I want the
That's what we need.
backstory.
That's we
Yeah.
need the juice.
Yeah.
All
Pause.
right.
Pause. You know what I mean? Pause. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You
no,
know what I
we,
mean?
we got to go back there to get here
Let's get
sometimes.
It. Yep.
But I was at the beginning of 2020, I left my husband of at the time like 13 years.
Okay,
Wait a minute. I
okay,
can't let you
okay.
continue. I'm gonna
Okay.
let you finish, and
Right.
then I don't want to say what didn't he do,
Okay.
but if his listeners out there that have a wife and they don't want to lose their wife and they could have been doing some of the similarities, you can save them with
Yes,
that. So
please fill that
yeah.
in at some
So
point, yeah.
we want to make sure. I'm gonna remember that and bring it back. I'm sorry for cutting you off.
All good. We got it.
Mhm.
So it's a long story. I met him when I was 15
Mhm.
and he was 22. We were on some R. Kelly.
Okay,
shit, for
all
real.
right, yeah.
Okay.
all
He was like Puff Daddy in Detroit. He had like
Yo, this is how we feeling. Oh, okay.
So I met him. I went with him with 3 of my friends with another dude to his house. Okay. He had a 3-story house, 6
Oh.
bedrooms,
This is really like
a
that.
jacuzzi, a fireplace.
Oh, okay.
And his mom was gone every weekend because she didn't want to have him around her boyfriend. So he would have this big ass house all to itself, full of guys bringing girls.
Right.
Okay.
So y'all was over there. Just
We was over there.
Mhm.
Y'all was over there getting y'all tantric. Y'all was getting y'all tantric motions on.
We for
Okay.
sure was.
Okay.
We was doing all kind of wildness.
Okay.
So that's how I met him, and he was at the time like one of the wildest men I met. Like we were doing exhibitionist stuff. We were on webcam.
Oh, okay.
We were
okay.
in threesomes,
15?
foursomes at 15.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Please
Now,
don't.
now
please,
where was you
please-
living at?
Hold on.
I was in Detroit.
Please.
I'm from Detroit.
You from Detroit? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
from Detroit.
And
All
one
right,
thing
okay.
we not gonna use on here is names. We
Yeah.
ain't incriminating.
Right. Yeah. No, we ain't
You know
trying
what
to
I'm
put
saying? So I
nobody.
got you.
We ain't trying to. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? We ain't trying to put nobody out.
And
Yeah.
hold on, before you met this individual, were you already sexually experienced?
I was. I
Okay,
I
okay.
would say there wasn't a time like nothing necessarily happened to me, but
Okay.
I was exposed early on. Like I don't
Okay,
remember a
got it,
time
got
where
it.
sex wasn't something I knew about
Got
Okay.
it.
Okay.
or was trying to engage in.
Okay.
Like
Right. Okay.
I don't know. I was doing how and go get it.
I mean,
You know what I mean? Or like
you was doing what most of us have done.
We
But
was
at the
doing
same time, like you said, you continued it on.
Well,
you
Yeah.
know,
hold
and
on. No.
Like some of us like pause in the middle, and you know. What
But
I'm saying?
hearing it from a woman is different.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
is. It's
yes,
very
yes.
different. Because I'm
Right.
like, oh, okay. Now I'm starting my emotional intelligence. I know certain things I see with certain women. I'm like, you got to keep on. I'm gonna just let me be a sponge for a couple
And
minutes.
it really
You know what I
sound,
mean?
and it really sounds like the liberation of it, though. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yes.
Like you
came
like,
out on top of
like
it.
you always
No pun
were
intended.
okay with.
Yeah,
how
I've
you
always been
felt
pretty
about it.
open.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of ladies that I've come across, like, it's such a shy point to be
Mhm.
just talked about. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, and they like, oh no, I don't want to talk. I don't know. But then
Yeah.
you close the door, they rip your head off, type of thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
And it's okay to be curious. You just want to make sure it's
Absolutely.
with the right people.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I'm sorry. Let you finish.
Oh,
No, yes,
good. Where we leave off?
So
Um,
Detroit. He was
Detroit
22
party
years
house.
old. Yep.
Yes, 15, 22.
Mom go out of town
Threesomes.
every week. It was him and his bunch of friends. I'm here.
Yeah,
Threesome
yeah.
I'm
party.
following the
Me
story.
too. I'm with you. I'm
Following
here.
the story.
We
Yeah.
here. We fully.
Yeah, full of wildness, truly.
Okay.
You know, some of the best times in my life, but
Mhm.
perspective is a lot, you know.
Absolutely.
It's your reality.
It is.
Mhm.
I found out later in life after we were married that I was like girlfriend number 3 at the time, and you know, it was just a lot of drama and unnecessary stuff. But as life goes, we ended up moving here to Phoenix, him and I both. He
Okay.
moved out here first. I came like a half a year later. Got pregnant, settled down.
Okay.
So that was the
Okay.
end of my whole life for a little bit.
Okay.
We was married, having kids. You know, when you're married and with children, sex can be very uninteresting.
Absolutely.
It can
Talk about that. Oh,
yeah.
oh, okay.
I felt like I was having the same orgasms. Like I mean, sex can become routine. It can become monotonous. There's a lot of relationships where the women don't even want to have sex, or they feel pressured to, or they feel like they're obligated to.
Yes.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
so we're definitely living in a society where we're still more so focused on a man getting his nut than a woman's pleasure or her experiences in the bedroom. So
Right.
I definitely felt very bored.
Okay.
I was bored, and
Okay.
not that we didn't try to solve the boredom.
Mhm.
It just, I don't know.
Okay. So what
I got a question too. Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay. So what was the tipping point that tipped you all the way out of that into
What's the tipping point?
like what was the point where you was like, you know what? Yeah, I ain't doing that no more. I'm going back to the liberation. I'm going back to the mindset that I had already. You know what I'm saying? Like since this got born, you did that. So like when was that turn?
I mean, we had a lot of emotional things come up in our relationship that trigger stuff. So I had an affair. I went back to an ex once or twice in my marriage, and I let him know, and then we tried to work on it. We did counseling. We did a lot of things. It is for sure hard to recover. But we had the type of relationship where, like I said, I was his third girlfriend when I met him. So it wasn't like
it really wasn't like that was the priority type of thing.
No, and it shouldn't have been such an issue because we were engaged and fucking other people. You know, like you know what I mean? Like I was like, well, how did we go from being full on basically swingers is what I learned later in life to now we're monogamous and boring.
Exactly.
You know?
So y'all was partying, then he took you to the boring part, and
yes.
you're like, hey, what's happening with the party?
Right.
But it depends on what the emotion is behind that.
Of course.
Right? Because when y'all, I know what you're doing somebody else with. That's still somewhat of a power of a control to me.
Right.
Now you going back to an ex where you actually had feelings for that could hurt someone's ego.
Yeah, for
it
sure.
could bruise somebody's ego for sure. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but the emotional attachment to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But
So
at the same time, it seems like it was a lot more though, because at the end of the day, like you say, y'all were still engaging with other people together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then like you say, I can see the ego hit, you know what I'm saying, where you, like, hey, you went back over there and it was, you know what I'm saying, just you and him over there compared to it was y'all over here.
Yeah.
Other, you know what I'm saying? So no, okay, I can understand that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it wasn't that direct of a. It's not like this guy had anything on my partner. I think it was. I mean, obviously it hurt. Let me not.
Right.
I know it hurt the man. You know what I mean? And then
we know it
well, for sure. And you know, like we had other stuff happen. He moved to Florida for a year and was trying to fly this first girlfriend that he had for years down. I'm like, you literally live in Florida. You can't cheat local like that. Don't make sense.
He needed some fly out. I need some of that fly out, please. Can I get some of that fly out?
So I wasn't even mad about that, but that did prompt something. Like that summer, I ended up cheating, like for real hardcore. What I would consider hardcore. The first time I cheated with my ex, it was a highly emotional thing. People had died in my family. Like I was back home for a funeral and needed comfort. Like it was more vulnerability, less like nah,
right.
You know,
less like the lust of it.
Yeah, less exactly. Right. But this time after the Florida incident, I met this guy dancing, and I don't know, I was like seeing him at the club for like 2 or 3 weeks. we dance and hang out all night, and then eventually start fucking. We fucked every day for a month.
Okay. Okay.
I was like, I can't believe I felt so asleep sexually after I fucked that man. I was like, I can't believe my sex life has been this boring. I felt like I was a lion in a cage. Like I just got let out. You know what I mean? Like I
So
was
he woke
like,
you up.
he woke me up.
Wow.
Yeah, he really did. And I got pregnant. So that was
Wow.
nice.
Yeah, that's a wake up.
It was definitely
That's
a wake up.
You wake up with that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was crazy.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but I kept the baby. We stayed married. He knows. It's we well, I worked through a lot of stuff mentally, emotionally,
Wow.
physically.
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's y'all was really tossing balls at each
We
other.
was really
Yeah,
trying.
no,
We
no,
were.
pause.
We were. I
I
can't.
got a question.
You got a question?
Yeah,
I got a question.
Okay, go for
So, you mentioned guys get a nut and women orgasm, right?
it. Mm-hmm.
Why do you state it like that? Like a guy can have an orgasm as well. I know
Yeah,
you
they
know,
can.
but you said a nut, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So for me as a man,
Because
go ahead.
I feel like men in society to some degree believe that that's the end of sex.
Mhm.
Mm.
And women can and are most women are multi-orgasmic. We just don't know or allow ourselves
Mhm.
to be.
Right.
Mhm.
And like I said, most people think when the man's nuts, the sex is over.
Mhm.
I'm not one. I can come more. So, like I want to.
Right,
So,
absolutely.
I just think we've just got some I don't know, growing to do as
Right.
far as making sure everybody's satisfied
Right.
in the bedroom.
Absolutely. 100%.
So, and I wasn't with my ex-husband, and I didn't know how much I wasn't.
Yo,
Yeah,
we don't know who you are. We ain't trying to add flame to the fire, bro. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And the only reason I say that is because, like, as a guy, it's the difference between trying to get my rocks off and trying to please somebody. Like I
Yeah.
clearly know what my intention
Right,
is, depending on what I'm doing.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not a person that's past life just lovey-dovey in every girl.
Mhm.
Like I was young once, moving around, moving and shaking, and I know what it is. I'm running through a brick wall and I'm moving on. I'm getting that off. I'm keeping it moving. They know
Yeah.
that. If I don't have no feelings for you, don't expect anything besides that from me.
Yeah.
Now, if I care for you, that's totally different. Everything slows down for me. I'm not in no rush. You know what I mean?
Right.
Mm.
So it's a huge difference as far as how I feel about a person
Okay.
when I was engaging in that activity. If I don't feel for you, it's like
You getting your nut and you rolling out.
I ain't even looking at you in the face.
Dang.
I'm talking about younger time though. Like
Okay.
if we being honest, right? So
Yeah.
because my thing is, if you something just to do, why am I treating you like somebody I'm with?
Hmm.
I'm just asking the question.
Right. Right. No, that's right.
I mean, that's however you
No,
choose
no.
to run your
So,
life.
no, that's pastime. I'm
Okay.
not even outside no more.
You're
You know what I'm
not. Are
saying?
you locked down? Is that what's up?
Nah, it's just more or less I'm more in tune with into how I feel and how I make other individuals feel that I'm in a situation with.
Yeah.
And I just understand so much more but before sex even happens.
Right. Yeah.
You know what
Which
I
is
mean?
true.
Because the attachment emotionally, physically, mentally stimulating someone leads to so much more when you
Absolutely.
get to the do.
Yeah,
Right,
and that is
absolutely.
something learned with
So
age
I
for
had
sure.
to learn that for
For
sure.
sure. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm just saying it in that state. But when I was younger,
You
like I'm
said
being
it.
like I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I never lied to somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah, that's what gets people in trouble.
like so I just wanted to ask that because it's a difference. Sometimes a woman think because you nut, she did something.
Yeah.
Right.
It wasn't you.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't
and-
you.
Okay, now that you're here, we're gonna shoot some woman stuff at you just because you're
Mhm.
one right here.
Got it. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, just like he said, right? I've heard this from numerous people, you know what I'm saying, that has happened where, and I've seen on different things about women answering this question as well,
Mhm.
where some women feel like it's not bad if a man came that fast because they figure like, okay, well, obviously he likes it. But some women look at it like, oh man, you just scourged her, you couldn't last into that. But my thing is, which is totally, I think just man thinking.
Okay.
Like, tell me and I say this to the lady that say, dude only lasted 2 minutes. Tell me the last time you stuck your dick in some pussy.
Well, I wish I
because
could.
because like I always say, and I tell most young men, I'm like, this is the best thing God ever created on in life.
For you.
It's pussy. No, no.
Not for me.
Creation of life. Like,
Oh, okay.
Is I mean that's
Okay.
what you know what I'm saying, like that's where life come from. You like to bathe there, you like to be there. That's I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying when I say it's the best thing.
Copy.
So when a woman says that a man can't last, I'm like, no woman has ever been inside with a beaten member inside a woman to be like, hey,
to gauge
how
what's what
and to say, hey man, you should have lasted longer than that. You know what I'm saying? That's my thing, because again, women always say stuff about men and how they last and what they doing, but a woman has not one thing. She has to get up and stay up.
Right. We don't have that. We don't have those kind of
Right.
problems.
Have you had to pump
for
15, 30 minutes?
Right. Now, and when I see them videos,
yeah. Yo, keep pumping.
Keep pumping. She's like, no, okay,
I'm tired.
It's only got to get in the gym.
It's only been 11 seconds.
Exactly. But how do you like?
How do I feel about that?
Yeah, how you feel about that? Because you heard how I feel about it. That's
it's definitely something I've come across a lot. I feel like a lot
because you do that. A lot matters.
I
that
threw
you
a lot.
After that.
I threw a lot because it does happen a lot. I don't know if it is a good pussy thing or if it's a stamina thing. I don't know. But
hold on.
I mean, but that's your opinion. That's your right.
That's my experience is. But I get people say I'm such a graceful, like if that happens, I'm like, we'll try again. Maybe it was the setting of the time, your first time experiencing me. Like I'm down to try again.
I respect you for that.
Like I give you the benefit of the doubt. You was nervous. It was whatever.
Hey, I respect you for that.
That was your first time experiencing me.
Yeah.
You gotta catch all that.
No,
you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
So you're an experience.
I'm an experience.
Okay,
for sure.
But you know what?
For sure.
Most women are, but they don't treat themselves like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They treat themselves like not the experience, but the goal line. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I'm it. I'm the finish. No, like why we again? Now we supposed to be exploring for however many minutes we doing this. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just no. Just straight clap. I might want to kiss you on the shoulder. I might want to, you know what I'm saying? This just ain't no just.
What you want to know what's different is what she said earlier, her femininity.
Yeah.
Right? Being in tune with that matters because it feels more sensual.
Yeah.
And a lot of women not in tune with
so
that.
if it feels sensual, that could stop a person in their tracks. Like, I ain't gonna do it like that. At least I'm gonna try. I still might go out the window quick, but I'm gonna try. Right. So that matters, setting the stage with that out the gate. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
I do.
We stopping her every joint.
Oh man, because me and him just be talking to each other. We don't be having like that.
Oh, nah, he was waiting.
Yeah,
he was like, "Yo, when I get a woman,
it's going.
You know,
hey,
I got that talk." Okay.
Out there,
so we got to go back.
Yeah.
Cheated on hardcore. You asleep, a lioness in the cage. Boom.
Yes. Yep.
All right.
Woke me up. I couldn't go back to sleep after that.
So it was over.
Well, so here's what I had to do mentally. I had to go inside and say, hey, look, you got a husband and kids. You got this baby by somebody else. You can't keep seeking outside yourself for your sexuality. Like that causes hurt. Right. So I had to learn for myself how to please myself the way I wanted to be pleased, how to learn my body, like for me, not for anybody else or from anybody else.
Right.
So that was the kind of study I took up. Like I was in numerous, that was the boom of online classes. So I was in a bunch of sacred sensuality workshops, just different types of modalities to teach myself to be with myself.
Right. Okay.
So I did that. And then I invited him in to like try things. Like we went to this dungeon here. It's called Arizona Power Exchange. And it's pretty extreme.
Yo, hold on.
Okay.
Yo, don't give out that name no more. Okay. You know what I mean?
All right.
That's top secret information for her. We're going to leave her at. You can add her. Come on, man.
No,
right, we went to a dungeon.
I'm playing.
It's not mine. It's a public thing. Anybody can look it up.
You want to know what's crazy? When they see your face now, they're gonna be on you. They're gonna be on your bumper. Like, what did you say on that podcast? They're gonna be on her bumper. So okay.
But hey, she said she was cool with it.
I was cool with everything that was going down in there. There was a guy stringing this girl up, doing something called shibari. and she was like she was suspended, and then he was constantly changing how she was suspended. So like her leg was lifted or her arm was up, or then he turned her around and she was like tucked into something.
And the ribbon things and
it was rope.
Oh,
and
okay,
rope.
okay.
I mean, there was all kind of stuff, flogging, hitting. There was a lady with this jackhammer fucking dildo, like just chasing this girl around. Like it was some crazy stuff in there. I'm not gonna lie. I was in there like, oh my God, like my eyes were so big. I was like, this looks great. He's like, this is too much. This is too much.
Okay.
Hey, but I mean, if that's what you like to see, or you know what I'm saying, want to be a part of it. I mean, like you say, it's like going to Disney World.
It is.
Oh, hey.
Exactly. It was like, I was like,
So,
this exists. You
right.
know?
My question is this.
Yeah.
If you don't have to answer this, but if you're in a relationship and you're so much more sexual than your significant other, can you still be in a relationship with them at this point? Because everybody's not going to have that experience or that drive.
Right.
So that's where it could get difficult at that point.
Right.
I agree.
Right. So how do you maintain a healthy relationship with a man?
Or do you want a so-called healthy relationship with a man?
I for sure do. Okay. I want a healthy, both sexual and emotional and intellectual supportive relationship with a man. I totally do. I'm single.
I need all of that.
I need it. I want it.
Yeah.
But for me, I had to reconcile that. I had to consciously choose. Am I really choosing my sexuality over my marriage, over my kids' future? Because I knew that I was going to impact them having left.
Right.
And I stayed for 5 years before I was like, yo, I really can't.
Eternally is digging into you.
I can't anymore. It became like I couldn't be myself. I didn't feel fulfilled. I didn't feel satisfied. I didn't feel heard as a human anymore. Like we tried, I think from that night, like I think that night we tried to do something a little bit out of the box. He like bit me all over and I fucking loved it. And he never did it again. And I'm like, so are you as my partner interested in pleasing me?
So did you mention that you loved it so much?
Oh yeah, yes, he did.
Definitely. I didn't ask that. I know she did. She's like, I loved it. Like,
absolutely. But he, that's what I started to realize. Like he's not really committed to my pleasure.
Right, exactly.
It seems so weird because what he introduced you to, or
what we started as,
yes,
he became vanilla Manila.
But
like,
you know what? He thought that was the ceiling. He thought that was the ceiling. What he introduced it to,
and he thought it wasn't gonna go nowhere else. He didn't think he was gonna carry it like you carried it.
Yeah, probably.
Because you got these little glasses on. You
I know, look all innocent, cute.
Like,
I don't look
about that lie. Yes, she is, brother.
No, yeah.
You know what they said? What come out at night? You better quit.
I wasn't even out at night. Like I was in the
no, but it ain't
in the day.
It's just
out. Yeah. Nah. Like the vampires come out. She said in the daytime.
Hey, daytime with a flashlight. She
said,
you know what? Ask her the question that you was asking the audience last week. Tough guy.
What was
it? 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
I
have no problem.
Yeah, here we go. Let me drink my water. Hold on.
I have a question, right? So I said, and I was asking, I was like, to anybody, again, I ask it again. We still had call in. We still got the number going across the bottom.
Y'all not calling in on this one.
All that. But I was like, it's lesbians. They are lesbian. They, you know what I'm saying? They do what they do. I ain't got no problem with it.
Yeah.
But my thing, since you and most of them really put out that they don't like men.
Okay.
Right. So why don't they go to the toy store and pick up a woman part then instead of buying a dildo?
You don't
talking about lesbian. I'm not a lesbian.
I'm just saying, just like in general.
But
like,
I'm a bisexual.
You're in tune with women though.
Yeah, I also don't like toys. I prefer. I mean, I like a warm penis.
Okay.
Personally, but I don't know about the lesbians.
Okay, all right.
See, I don't know. I mean, and I think that's an individual thing. Like, there's some women like me who don't like toys. There's some people who, they are just like fully into embracing their bodies with their partners.
Right.
There are some that do. There are some that do like to be strapped. I mean, I know plenty of girls who like to strap girls. I've definitely been strapped by girls before, but.
Right. And again, it was just a curious question because again, I seen it as a joke somewhere, but it's a real question because a lot of times that's what I would hear. You know what I'm saying?
You're like, if you are a lesbian, you shouldn't like your holes filled. Is that what you're asking?
Or I'm saying not that you shouldn't like them filled, but
okay.
But don't bash a man when you're using a dick. How
Right.
about that? That's my
So
thing.
you don't
Mhm.
like a man, but it's cool for you to go by his part.
That's
pretty
my
much,
thing.
and then use it
Gotcha.
on a woman.
That's my
That's what-
thing.
that's-
And
that's
then you
basically
walking
what I'm
around like matter of fact, you might have it on in your jeans, motherfucker.
Yeah,
like,
I've
you know what
definitely
I'm saying?
seen that.
Word?
Yeah.
No, and I done heard that. I mean,
Yeah.
I done heard some of them. They walk around with the strap just so they can feel like a dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like real
But
talk.
if you hate a man, why are you trying to feel like something you hate?
Again, that's why I wanted
I
to
mean,
ask
it
the
might
question
not
to
be a hate
somebody that
thing. It
was-
also might be a self-identification.
I'm just
thing.
playing
Like,
over the
maybe they
question that he
identify
said,
more
right.
as a male. Like, you
And
know, we
hate
have all
and
those.
hate is a
things.
strong
Yeah,
word. I shouldn't
yeah,
say hate, but
dislike,
I mean, but to
dislike.
me, again, when I hear them, they don't like a man. So why if you don't? Because if I don't like you, I don't want your picture in my car.
Yeah, I don't want to be like
You know what I'm saying? I ain't finna just for motivation. I'm like, hey, no, I just don't like you. So it was just an odd question. That's all. And see how he just remembers. You know what I'm saying? So,
Nah, because like she seems definitely
yes.
super experienced, and she have conversations with a ton of individuals, and it was just another perspective that we didn't have.
Right. Yeah.
So that's
absolutely.
like, I promise you, I wasn't trying to slide you under the
because
bus.
because me and him and when I asked the question, I was like, me or him can't answer it. I was asking
Right.
straight to the
Mhm.
audience.
Yeah.
I was asking to y'all.
And
you know what I'm
nobody
saying?
called up.
And nobody called
Like,
up. I was-
nobody
They're
called
like,
up.
they don't care.
and also because I was like, can I get some of my stud muffins out there? Somebody, you know what I'm saying? So maybe it was, I don't know what it was, but
Yeah.
hopefully if y'all see the question, y'all can put it in the comments, answer it, whatever. You know what I'm saying? If y'all see it, studalicious ladies.
See,
you know what I'm saying?
see, I'm not doing that. I wear her like I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad you sit right here too, because they know where that energy comes from. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting on this side, like, But so we got the 22, boom.
Yeah.
So he went to Florida doing that nonsense, cool.
Yeah.
Got the guy from dancing, boned him for a month, hardcore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Woke up, yo, I'm a lioness. I'm never going that route. But then I
Yeah.
had to ask myself, like, yo,
Mhm.
all right, I got my kids. So am I choosing my sexuality over marriage? I got all of that. I got a great memory. So that's where you
yes.
left off at.
Okay,
That
so
is.
now-
That is.
I have a question. So now since all that happened
Mhm.
and you climbed the tiers, now you are no longer just goddess or the tantric lady. You are
Mhm.
The last thing you say you do. You
Right.
host what?
Well, I don't know. We're switching
host.
gears, but formerly lifestyle party host. I'm kind of trying. I'm switching more into the tantric spiritual
Yes.
side of the sexuality.
Okay.
So things are changing.
Okay.
But yeah, I've had a lifestyle party house called the Goddess's House for the last since 2022.
Okay.
So
No, 2021.
That's so 1 year
crazy.
after.
So is it closed now, or is you just not
Yeah.
you just trying to move away from that?
I'm just switching gears.
Okay.
It'll still be goddess associated, but
Okay.
yeah,
But only when needed, probably.
yeah, I
like
mean, well, it's kind of
Figure
more
it out.
like I said. I kind of want to go more the tantric route, so I want more intimate connections. I find lifestyle to be a lot of like people just trying to get a nut.
Right,
I
right,
personally,
right.
I'm the type of woman. I tell people you have to make love to my body. We're not about to sit here and be in Pound Town or doing all that
Right,
craziness.
absolutely.
Like,
Right.
no, I don't. That's not how I prefer to fuck. So
But that
Right.
changes everything,
Yeah.
though, to me, because
And that changed
It
the
is.
person. that changed the
that's what
person
I'm
that wanted to.
saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like that's what I'm
yeah.
saying. Like
yeah.
because it's like if you tell a kid that, right?
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, a guy as a kid, he's looking at you like you're bugging.
Right.
Well,
know
he
what I
ain't got to
mean?
touch it. That's
No,
fine.
No,
No, I'm
absolutely.
just saying from the perspective of men,
Okay.
right? Because as a man, we taught some things totally different as a kid, right? When we talking with our boys, did you knock it down? It's not did
Right.
you make love to her? That's
Right.
not what it is.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So some people never learn that.
Mm-hmm.
You
Right.
know what I mean?
Exactly. That's
Yo,
why.
I knocked
That's
down
where.
the
That's
waist
where I
to the-
want
you know what I
to.
mean?
That's where I want to
Yeah.
open my doors to say, hey, look, we need to learn.
More
The
intimate.
maturity of it.
More
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
More
It's
intimacy.
just the
and not
maturity
being
of
in
it.
no rush.
Yep.
It shouldn't have to be a rush. Like you
Right.
know?
Yeah. It's one of the most. I don't know. One, we use it for escape, right? We use it to be in our most blissful state,
Mm-hmm.
and you can. I don't know. I just feel like I know what it feels like to be at the gates of heaven. You know, when I'm engaging in sex.
Mhm.
Oh, okay,
And I feel
okay.
like that's not something we're privy to as in our conversations. We're usually just doing it for the purpose of nutting. We're not really in our bodies feeling all the different sensations.
Right.
We can have over 20 different orgasms. I orgasm from every part of my body. And a lot of people don't know that they can do that. They think they're just going to have orgasm from their clitoris, or some women can only have
tough.
orgasm from penetration. I can have, At this point, you can blow on me. I'll come. Like I'm sensitive. I've trained my body to be exposed to the things around me. To
basically,
sensuality.
So you could orgasm off of stimulating conversations.
I can. I can orgasm off food or
Wow.
feathers.
I got bad questions. Yo, hold up.
But that takes control, though. That takes personal.
It takes study. It takes self
being in tune with your body.
exploration.
Right.
Being in tune with your body. So my question is, I know you got a story right here.
Okay.
When you wasn't in tune with your body, was you still able to orgasm in a lot of different, maybe not all 20?
No.
Because I'm like, yo, you eat
just the one way.
Because like I'm
I
like,
would say 2, the clitoris, and sometimes penetration.
Nah, so then that's good.
But I had to use a toy, and my ex could tell you this. Like he's experienced me before and after the sexual transformation, right? Like he was like, I used to have to use a toy to come when I was having penetration. And I wasn't really having multiple orgasms. Okay. So now I'm like having multiple orgasms. I'm squirting. Like there's a lot happening in my body that was not happening before.
Right.
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
So, the famous question, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of times women say, no. Women say this needs to be this size in order for me to be pleasured.
Okay.
But what you said is not all about Pound Town.
Yeah.
So you said there's 20 different ways to orgasm. So when a woman state that, she's missing the other 19.
She's missing so many things. I mean, but like I said, we're not trained in to learn about our bodies or to allow ourselves. Some of us can't even shut our brain off during sex anyway.
You're right.
To feel
You're right.
like
Absolutely.
I've definitely fucked my husband thinking about my grocery list, or not even like just not to hear.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Just
or the TV on and some guys start laughing and you start laughing at the TV.
Right.
No, for real. I've been there.
Exactly.
I'm with you.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah. Like y'all could be into it and y'all was watching a movie and it was, I don't know, it was a movie that you already know already, but you hear the part come up and you already know it's funny and you laugh.
I never did that. I never did that.
Hey, it happens,
That's
man.
wild, disrespectful.
I mean, now you have to quickly readjust it. Like, okay, let me get out of that movie. Like, what?
I never did that, Chan.
My ex used to watch stuff to distract himself from coming. So I've heard people doing that. Like, you watch TV to distract yourself from coming. Put your mind on something else.
It's a halfway distraction. It's kind of a game with yourself, so you won't nut. Like, you know what I'm saying. Also, sometimes, like, you know what I'm saying.
So, all right. So, boom. So look, so you trying to distract yourself from finishing, right? Just go again, bro.
But not everybody can.
Right, but sometimes that's the thing. But the recovery process will get you embarrassed.
But listen.
But
hold on.
Like she just said, like, hey, the minute you.
But look, remember what she said before. They think it's over when the guy nuts.
Right.
So depending on who you dealing with, you won't get embarrassed on the recovery.
Or if you know when you know you done did that, you got to go to work on some. You got to immediately go to work on some other shit. Because if you don't, again, look at that watch. Like, hey, bro, you was because I don't know about this intermission time, but you was trying to get the game.
Come on, man. Yo, you get somebody that hit you real quick. It's no. Yo, let me distract myself. No, you stuck. You tense is over. So
hey, no, that's why dudes like.
Oh, it doesn't have to be over.
Like,
when I say it's over, so that's my terminology. When I say it's over, don't mean the sex is over. Yeah. It mean like finish him. You gonna let that go. Like, you gotta recuperate that.
You do.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta
get your electrolytes up.
Yeah, you gotta see, but also a lot of that, like you said, and how we be talking, a lot of that is health as well.
Yeah, for sure. Like, absolutely.
It's men out here that really they don't respect the fact that their penis is attached to their whole blood flow and their whole body.
It is.
You know what I'm saying?
Sexual dysfunction is high in unhealthy individuals.
And they don't understand why they think they're doing everything. Man, your girl, she just put you to sleep so she can go over somebody else's house because you know what I'm saying? You provide, but you ain't providing you know what I'm saying? You ain't providing a regular base, you know what I'm saying, the base thing. So
See, that's
Yeah.
crazy that you even say your girl put you to sleep to go to somebody else's house. That even sounds crazy to me.
I mean, but if she
I'm
know
not
you,
saying it's not
right,
true.
right. But if she
I'm
know,
just saying, like,
but if she know you, man, she can again. We just talked about the not having nothing to stand up. She can have sex with that man, put him to sleep. He gonna again, blood ain't flowing. He gonna last 2 minutes. He gonna put him to sleep. He gonna be snoring. She gonna go out and she gonna go hang out with Marcus.
No.
She gonna hang out with Marcus because
That's
Marcus
crazy.
got the time and the time. He got the time
crazy.
and the stamina time. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you know, some people just hate the honesty of it, I think.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
That's
again,
one of the benefits of the lifestyle. You can do that. You can
Yes.
just go and hop on the next dick.
hey, for real. Okay, now so how was or is maybe
Mhm.
still how is swinger life?
Swinger life.
Like-
Swinger life was interesting. I actually got into swinger life a month after leaving my ex-husband.
Okay.
I moved in with a lady and I was telling her my life story. She was like, sounds like you need to get laid. I was like, yeah, facts. Let's do that. She took me to a lifestyle party house in Glendale area.
Okay.
And I walked in and I was like, wait, Black people do this?
I
I was like, hold on.
Okay.
My whole life, I have been watching porn with orgies of white people everywhere.
Yes.
Like, I love orgy porn. That was like my favorite category. All the people everywhere fucking. Yes, let's do that.
Nah, we're not gonna do this.
Let's do that.
Let me. You gotta let me finish what I'm saying.
Okay.
All right. So you said that was your favorite part of porn.
Yeah.
Why?
Why?
Yes, I want to know the why.
I think well, now that I know myself, like as this goddess of, I like channel sexual energy. So I know now that if somebody's over there fucking, it feels like I'm fucking.
Makes sense.
How
Thank you.
energetically
Thank you.
in tune with this
Thank
stuff.
you.
Okay, so
you automatically think I'm saying no, you can't do
so
no.
you like the sexual energy of the whole room?
I do. I like the sexual energy of the whole room. I like to feel like I'm just enveloped in just sex. Heightened emotions,
Right,
people in
right.
ecstasy at their most blissful states, like enjoying their whole bodies. Yeah.
So can you have all of that for one person though?
What do you mean?
Like
all that feeling with one person?
yes.
No.
Oh yeah.
Chill out.
I don't think you
Chill out.
can.
I'm asking her.
I've had an experience. I've had I don't know if you guys are into astrology or things like that. I have a guy that's a twin flame. He's like my male mirror.
Mhm.
And the sex we had was always like amplifying. Like whenever we had sex, it was like better than the last time. Like every time was better than the last time. And I'm like, I don't understand how we continue to do this.
That's intriguing on his own.
It was. And it's still like I don't know, a little ping in the back of the head.
Right.
Will I ever find that again? Because I can't with that particular individual.
Right.
But
Wow. So the sex was great, but a lot of the other things wasn't.
I mean, there's a lot of things about this person that was great, but
But you just weren't
relationships.
Right.
I would have. He just didn't have his shit together. You know what I mean?
Okay,
And it negatively impacted my shit.
Usually
okay.
it works.
That's
like
all.
That.
That's
Usually
all. Like if he had his life together to some degree, and he wasn't really lifestyle, which I think definitely impacted us while I was trying to do these parties. Because I'm out here naked hugging people. He's on, you can't. I'm like, it's my body, bro. And we talked, like, I've been doing this before you.
Already.
Like, these people know me longer than you. Like, calm down.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
tough space.
So
I know.
So that's what I would think.
Yeah.
That's what I would ask now.
It for sure is.
How have you been able to navigate that? Because
I haven't. I'm
most
single.
Men, okay. So most men have a problem with that.
Yeah, I mean, I find a rare few unicorns out there that don't. Like, I date pretty much in the lifestyle, so I don't have to find a guy and explain to him what I'm doing.
Right.
Because that does, if you don't already understand, hey, everybody's fucking. That's what we're doing, and you can too, bro. Calm down.
I got this. Okay.
You can too, bro. Okay.
Yeah. Like,
okay. So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What's the difference of your experiences in porn? How is it? What's the difference? What's the difference between the two?
between having it in real life versus seeing it on
I'm
porn,
saying
or
like somebody doing porn
Mhm.
and what you're experiencing. Like I don't know, like I'm hearing a lot of stuff. I heard of it, but sitting next to somebody, I'm like, oh, they wasn't lying. Because I
Mhm.
hear people telling me your type of stuff and invite me. I'm like, yo, bro, I'm cool.
But I would say
Yeah.
it's probably just a camera, right?
Like the difference
No.
between seeing live sex in person, I'm still trying to make sure I understand what you're.
Okay, so when someone's a porn star,
Mhm.
right?
Okay.
They basically get paid to have sex in front of the camera,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And then your lifestyle,
Mhm.
right?
I'm not getting
She's
paid.
just having sex. It
Just
might not
having
be a
sex in
camera.
front of. I mean, I'm an exhibitionist, so I think that may be the thing in common. Like
Mm,
there are people
okay.
who like having sex in public or having people watch them.
Right.
Or are comfortable with people. That's not
Right.
for everybody. Like
Right,
that's
right,
I think that's a part of lifestyle that they have these swinger parties. You don't have to go to the parties. You don't have to be an exhibitionist to go.
Right.
There's some places that you can close the door or that you can have more privacy, but yeah, I think it's just your comfortability level with people around you, and not a lot of guys are truly.
Right.
It's harder to find a guy whose lifestyle who can actually perform when a lot of people are watching, or
Right,
you know.
compared to just some intimate, like just you and him.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's another thing I do. I give people grace around that. Like if we fuck at a party and it's not all that, I'm like, you can just come back another day.
Right.
You know, like we can just try
And
this.
and I think I answered my own question as far as what is the difference, because a lot of
Okay.
times when I see porn, it doesn't seem like it's really intimate.
Yeah.
It seems
too.
like it's a job. So that's one of the differences to me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Just hearing it, because like I'm telling my people, yo, we about to have such and such. They was like, yo, what did she do? Somebody asked me that question and I was like, yo, I don't know. I'm gonna find out. So it's one of those questions.
Right.
You know what I mean? People gonna probably know her. I'm like, yo, bro, I don't know. You know
Right.
what I mean? So
But see, but then like you said, like, but that's the thing. Somebody else cares if somebody knows you.
Yeah.
And compared to you not caring about what somebody knows.
And you got to be invited to that atmosphere.
Yeah.
Whereas porn is like they putting it out and they selling it.
Mm-hmm.
You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but like you were saying, it's inviting energy. Then it's who you feel can accept what's going on.
Yeah.
Like compared to just pulling somebody off the street, like, oh yeah, I want to date you. Yeah, but you might not want to date this.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
exactly, for sure.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I just want to make sure you know what you're getting yourself into here.
Right.
And I do, because it is like there's a lot of sensitivities. We have a lot of, I don't know, people like monogamy. That's where we all come from. So it's a little bit harder to get your mindset out of like, this is no longer cheating. Like you don't have to lie. Like you can work on communicating with your partner so that you can have your desires fulfilled. You know what I mean?
Like, a lot of people can't tell the truth though.
Right.
A lot of men really.
Facts.
Or a lot of men really, because that's the like. Okay, so do you see more insecure men?
Absolutely. I definitely see more insecure men
than women.
100% more insecure men.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so
territorial guys are very territorial.
Right. Okay, but obviously you had couples that come in that was already married or whatever. Like, are there married couples that end up being more insecure than single people, seemingly?
I mean, both exist. I've seen it all. I've seen a lot of couples go into lifestyle trying because one of their partners has cheated, or they're trying to explore something.
That's tough.
Couple-wise,
it's tough.
It is. Couples, I feel like it's for sure most of the time gonna break up your marriage.
Yes.
And that's the sad thing about it. It's usually one partner is acquiescing, so they're like, okay, fine, we can try.
Yep.
You know?
Hoping you don't like it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Whereas if you single, I would seem like you single, you fell in love with somebody that still want to be a part of the life.
Yeah.
You think what I'm saying? Like that's this is.
Or there can be coercion. One partner trying to convince somebody else that we want to do this.
Yes.
Now that can turn tricky, depending on who's doing the inviting, right? Whether it's the male or the female, because sometimes it seems like a guy would be okay with being invited by a lady, but a lady would definitely not be be invited into that situation by a man, because it seems like you're pulling me into a sex circle compared to when a woman do it, you pulling me into sex with other people. You know what I'm saying? Like a woman to look at it like a Diddy circle, and somebody else to look at it like, oh, okay, we just going over there and we gonna be doing it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, that's how, like, when a man invites it, it looks more like fraternity-ish. Like, okay, you invite me to to come here with the boys, like, you know what I'm saying, instead of being, you know what I'm saying,
what about the crazy joint is when you invite the woman, she don't want to go, she finally goes, she get turned out.
and don't want you to come no more.
So you got to watch it both ways. It's a slippery
Right,
slope.
and that, but
You know
that's,
what I mean?
but like you're saying, that's the thing with communication that some people don't have, and
Exactly.
if they would have had that communication, neither one of them wouldn't have felt bad when she decided that what was going to happen. But we don't have them conversations because
and we don't even know that we need to. Truly, like we are as a society, especially when we come to our sexuality, we are not quite at the level where we understand what we're trying to do here. Like we are really just like, I felt a lot in my marriage when I was trying to express to my ex-husband what I needed in my sex life. Like I didn't know until I went and met this other dude that
that opened it up a little bit more for
I
you.
still applaud you though, because you try to have the conversation.
Yeah,
you try, you know what I mean, and you basically told him what you wanted.
Yeah.
And like, hold on, if you ask somebody what do you want and they tell you, don't assume, listen to what they say.
Facts. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because somebody would tell you and then they do what they want to do and you say, why did you do it? Oh, because I told you exactly what it was.
Right.
So I can respect that, where some individuals, male or female, they'll never communicate.
Never
communicate
until
whatever
the
they
end.
want. Man, that's
until the end, and then they like, well, like you said about the biting thing. Well, you stopped doing this. You stopped doing what I like. Okay, but you didn't tell me that you like, but you said you mentioned it to him. So, but a lot of other instances, people won't mention it, and they'll just end it like that, and then later on we'll talk.
They'll just hold it in the back of their pocket,
and then
like you never did that again.
And then tell 3 other people, well, hey man, we heard you broke up with so and so because you didn't do so and so. What do you mean? How did you? But then I mean, it's just so like that's the crazy, like that stuff that keep you. Lack of communication will keep you from getting what you want.
Exactly.
I still feel good about the femininity though.
Yeah.
Because me and my peoples have conversations all the time and understanding divine self. And it's like, yo, listen, you are trying to be more masculine and feminine. We're going to constantly clash.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? We're going to constantly clash. So when you said that over Rit, a lot of questions I didn't even need to ask no more. Right? Because that right there tells so much.
Right.
Like, oh, you going in this with this. You know what I mean? You going in this with more care, more love, more honesty compared to who's the man, right? Like we constantly bumping heads, or you know, and some guys take the role of what women do. It goes both ways, and that's the issue. So I respect you for even doing that. And it seems like as a young age, you fast forward your maturity very quick.
I for sure did.
You know what I mean? Very quick. You know what I'm saying? So she cool in person. You know what I mean? She cool in person, by the way. You know what I mean? But what is okay, let's go back to the class. The classes, or how do you say it? So
the
breath work.
Yes.
Yes. I think that's very interesting because you're allowing individuals to get in tune with so much.
Yeah.
So can you explain that a little bit for individuals that's curious and they may want to find you? Like, listen, just a little snippet. Because we had this homegirl on here. She gave us a little snippet of her book, Crazy.
Right.
So any like a technique or something small you could give somebody or anything like that you can give that's not too much by chance?
Yeah. Let's see. There's a practice you can do. It's not necessarily tantric, but it's called pleasure mapping that you can do with your partner. Very simply, just take time and touch every part of their body. And you, as the person being felt on, just start to notice like where you feel a little bit more sensitive. And it's usually where we have our major organs or in the crevices of our body. So here, like our inside of our arms, the back of our knees are a lot more sensitive, the little inset in our groin. Like there's certain areas of our body that are just more sensitive. So as something you can do to like really learn and play with your partner to make sure you're aware of their erogenous zones, like just take some time. Do soft touches, do more firm touches, do more tickly touches. Like find out what type of pleasure, pressure, and places you like touched.
And
fellas, take some time.
Ladies,
take some time.
Yeah, do it both ways.
Touch a brother.
And then men don't like men. I will say this too. Men don't often get touched outside of just their penis.
Talk
men
to
have whole bodies as well.
I'm trying to tell you.
Look,
I'm one of them.
He about to start up.
I'm one of them.
He about to start up.
I'm one of them. Yeah. I need to be touched too. I'm with you. Like that's I'm one of them.
Oh, you better chime in. You better chime in.
One of them too.
You better chime in.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, man.
saying off camera, this also depends a lot on your imagination.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Because without an imagination, you can't explore those things you never imagined you could.
Right.
Absolutely.
So, I'm gonna be quiet.
No, for real. But I
That
mean,
makes
but
sense.
also a lot of men don't step up and say they need to be touched.
Yeah.
They will, again, like you say, a man will just go for attack. I'm just going, and he ain't even trying to do the touching. He just, I'm gonna grab you, put you over here. Oh, you know what I'm saying? It's never even asking the lady. And then even when he asks, she has to be accepting enough to be like, oh yeah, I'll touch you. I will try to, you know what I'm saying? I will, you know what I'm saying, touch you, like you say, more than just his penis. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm more than just a penis. I got
Exactly.
shoulders, I got
Exactly.
arms, I got legs, I mean everything. So no,
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm a toucher. Please touch me. Touch me.
Yeah.
Touch me.
This dude bugged out.
Touch me.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yes.
So would you say those places may be a little bit more sensitive because they're not touched just a lot in general? Like certain
too.
crevices you only touching if you washing your body.
That's
Right,
for
that's
real.
true.
You know what I mean?
And I feel like too, if somebody touches you there, you'll remember them because you'll be like, "Oh my God, he did this to me. I never had that happen." You know, like that's something that sticks with you. Like somebody's touching extra spaces, or I've had a guy like nibble all down my jawline. I'm like, that's not, coming.
Yeah,
Right,
You know,
right,
like,
you're right,
commonality
you're
of that. Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, you
yeah,
just-
You're right. You're right.
There's just different activities you can do with the body that we don't think about because
Yeah.
we're just so
I got a
focused
couple
on the
tricks.
tits
I'm
and the
with you.
ass and the
I'm
pussy
with
and the
you on
dick,
that.
and that's it.
Yeah.
Like we've got all these perks.
I got a couple tricks myself, so I feel you definitely gotta have some, you know what I'm saying? You gotta
Yeah.
you gotta be able to explore a
Yo,
little bit.
at the
you
end
know?
of the day, it's cool to cuddle. Because when you cuddling, you're exploring a lot of that.
Cuddling
And you know
too.
what I mean?
Yeah,
You're
and
exploring a lot of that.
that's another thing I
Mhm.
think couples don't do is a lot of non-sexual
Yeah, cute.
touch.
Yeah.
Like
Yes,
we are missing just platonic touch as a
Yes,
society. We
yeah.
don't live near our family often. We're not getting hugged regularly.
Yeah.
So just
yeah,
touching without
yeah.
the expectation of sex.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we need
and
that
we
too.
and we talked about that earlier about just men getting hugs or you know what I'm saying? Like you say, it's just a lot of stuff that men don't receive. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? When you get it, you almost be like, hey, hold on, what you doing? Like, you know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Like
Mhm.
I don't
At the same time, be around a woman that allows you to be emotional to things that you actually like.
And but you know what? That's
You know
a lot
what
of
I'm
it too,
saying?
ladies. Y'all have to be willing to be that person. Like a lot of women are not that person.
Mm.
They are just on some straight up accepting and not trying to put back into. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times that's what make that exchange so cut and dry. So pass me $1, I'll pass you one back. You know what I'm saying? It's no, hey, let me hold your hand. Or I know again, I cut hair. I talk to a lot of men. I know men that don't want to really talk to a woman. They just want to be like, okay, what we doing? Okay, we're gonna have sex. Okay, boom, that's it. They don't want to have the in between of, hey, so how your
That's
day going?
bugged out.
You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
Like it's so
Yeah,
many,
yeah,
but I
yeah,
also
yeah.
see so many women that say they don't like small talk, and I don't know what
Word?
that means. When I
I'll
mean,
be how
how am I supposed to talk to
How am
you?
I supposed to know if I want to engage with you?
Yeah,
Exactly,
like-
but again, everything is so transactional. With you know what I'm saying? With okay, you get this, and that. There's no talking in between. Like I have more conversation with a cashier at a store than I would with somebody that I'm trying to really get to know because they want me to cut to the chase. Okay, I got this much money, I got this much time. Which one? Like you know what I'm saying? That's pretty much how
we
it
are
end up
in
going.
a fast-paced society.
See, that's
right now.
crazy. Like once I changed certain things about myself, I don't run into that often. I don't run into that often.
And
you know what I mean?
And I only say it because I be
Nah.
Right.
Right.
I don't run into it either.
Right.
But, you know
what I'm saying?
But when I see it, it's just and being on social media is just primarily right there for everybody to see. So
Like I remember I met a woman. She was like, "I'm a sapiosexual." Like she get turned on by intellect. Right. So when I seen that, it's crazy because if I can't converse with you, I really won't even. You'll look good at all. I'm just like, but you can't hold a conversation.
Right.
So now it's just pound town. That's all it could be.
Right.
You dig what I'm cool. In order for me to want to do certain things with you or even talk to you, I got to know something about you that's meaningful, not meaningless.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like that's crazy.
Yeah,
Oh
some
man.
mean.
Oh man.
Well, you know what? We appreciate.
Yeah, we appreciate. This
The
is part one.
goddess.
This is part one.
We appreciate the
Okay.
This
goddess.
is part one.
I
This is
mean,
part
I
one.
got a little
Goddess
info.
Aya. We
Yeah, this
appreciate you
part
coming
one.
to our podcast.
Factual.
Two Brains, One Goal. We trying to give it to y'all. Whatever way y'all gonna take it, you know what I'm saying? No pauses on that.
Hold on.
Give it to you.
Right.
No pauses on that
Slow.
Nice and slow.
because the goddess is here. No pauses on that. We good.
Hold
you know
on.
what I'm saying?
Do you have any social medias or anything where individuals could reach you, follow
Yeah,
you,
Yes,
or
please,
what you
please,
have going
please let
on? May
them
you
know.
please give your social medias, please?
Yes, you can follow me on Instagram at the Goddess's House, as well as the Goddess.aya. That's where primarily I be at. If you're on FetLife, that's a kinky swinger website for folks who are
Yeah.
interested.
Let them know. Let them know.
The
Let 'em
Goddess
know.
_Aya and the Goddess's House there too. So
Okay.
And
Yeah.
then what we might try to do, what we're going to do is when you watch the full episode, if you want to play it back to get some informative information as far as yourself or your spouse or your significant other, we're gonna put her, not her contact, her handles and the information she gave on the bottom as well.
yeah.
Therefore, you can reach out. Nothing's free, by the way. So if you reach out for any information, make sure you take care of our girl and our woman and all of that.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So now I'm gonna introduce myself, Mr. Frequent Flyer Miles, the dude with the beard. You know what I mean? Neutrogena, anything like that. Make sure you check with me. You feel me? All organic products. You know, end it. You gotta end it.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in today. I also do energy work. So if you're in need of, cleansing, chakra balancing, tantra work, like hit me up.
Okay. Well, that's our show for today.
We
And we
up outta here.
appreciate y'all. Man. Two Brains, One Goal.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you.
Dang,
Thank
so
you
it
ve-
stepped up.
thank you
Yeah,
very
yeah,
much.
for sure.
Thank
Nah,
you.
that was dope. That was dope. Go ahead, Sam.